Umu in New Zealand. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2303, Rhythms and Routines. I hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day as well. Did not forget that. So today has been out of sorts in some ways and in rhythm for other ways. It's been a very interesting day. I was sitting here at 6 o'clock this morning doing the Q&A that I do on Thursday mornings, and I could hear my mum walking around outside. She opened up the curtain, which is right by the front door here. And I looked at the clock and I thought, it's just after 6 o'clock. That's a little unusual. Usually it's after 7 in the morning. So I got the Q&A done and I could hear Mum and Dad rattling around in the kitchen getting breakfast ready. And so I went out just after 6:30, almost 6:45, and go, you guys are up early. And they go, no, we're not. I said, it's 6:45. And they looked, they thought it was 7 o'clock. They thought they got up at 7 o'clock because the daylight was out, and all Mum did was look at the minutes on the clock. She didn't look at the hour, but she looked at the minutes and the daylight that was coming through the curtains and stuff, and figured it was 7 o'clock. It was time to get up. So they got up, showered, dressed, and sat down there and had breakfast. They were a whole hour early. But then the funny thing was they got doing their little stuff, doing their stuff around the house and things, and getting ready to go out because they had errands to run that was going to take a few hours this morning. They ended up leaving an hour late. Oh, I love my parents. They do. They just keep everything alive, and they keep you on your toes. They really do, and I absolutely love it. So they went off and did the errands they had to do. I got left here. I had to fend for myself for morning tea. But that's okay, because my mum called me and said, I forgot to set it out for you, but this is where you find the banana bread in the cabinet that we've got, that we had. She said, just take a slice off there and for your morning tea. And I was like, okay, thank you very much. Like, they take care of me. I love it. I'm enjoying it for the moment, but I know it's not going to last, because hopefully on Tuesday when we go and visit this place, it will be the right place for me, and I'll be able to move in after the 12th of December. So I'm super excited about that too. Got some other projects. Got on work and got that out of the way. Got projects done before work and projects done after work. So feeling very accomplished today. But the street has not been quiet all day. It's been a lot of it's been happening because the next door neighbors on this side, their moving truck turned up and they're moving out. They moved out today out of their place. And then the one across the road that I hoped to rent but got rented before I got to New Zealand, they started moving in. Like, they've taken in like 2 carloads so far they've taken into the house. So yeah, they're in the process of moving in. So we had a moving truck over here. We had a car coming and going that was bringing in stuff to the house. We have kids walking up and down the street. We had kids going to school this morning. We had kids coming home. They're in the process of coming home right now, so they're straggling past. And the high schoolers are coming up and down all day. The high school is at year-end exams, and so they only have to be at school when they've got their exams, so they can go home during the day. Between exams and that sort of stuff. And there's a couple of high schoolers that I've seen walking up and down the street a few times, and they're between exams. That's okay. But the kids are riding their bikes home. They're riding their scooters home, like motorized scooters, or the ones that you use your foot power to move along. They're walking. It's really cool to see, because we don't have school buses in New Zealand as such. They take buses. They have buses that will put school signs on them, but they're only for those kids that live outside the school district and outside the town district. If you live within the town boundaries, it's your responsibility to get yourself to school, or your parents. If you live outside the town boundaries in the country, then they will have school buses that have routes that will pick you up and bring you into the town so you can go to school. But apart from that, if you're in the rural areas, you get a bus ride. If you're not, you got to get to school either walking, riding a bike, riding a scooter, run if you want to, or if your parents drop you off and pick you up. But we don't have parents in New Zealand dropping their kids off as much as we do in the US. They don't have a kiss and ride at school, because it's basically pull up in front of the school, they jump out and off you go, and there's no traffic jams. Not like you see at the schools in America, which is a very big difference, because kids will walk everywhere. They'll ride their bikes, they'll ride their scooters, they may rollerblade. I haven't seen any kids rollerblading, they probably can't wear them to school. But it's just very, very different environment, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And sitting here has kind of made me sort of like, oh, what's going on over there? Oh, what's going on over there? And getting distracted with what I'm doing. So I have to be very careful with that. And then mum and dad had a couple of old sawhorses they need to get rid of. So dad put them out on the curb there, free to any home. And within an hour, they were gone. They've just put out a planter out there, but it's plastic and it keeps blowing over in the wind. So mum's got it propped up against the mailbox right now. So we'll see how long that sits there. But yeah, we're going to get rid of stuff. You just put it out there on the curb and people will drive by and pick it up. And off they go. Although how these people knew to come down our street to pick up those sawhorses, I don't know. Unless they had a friend who walked past, saw them and called them, knowing that they were okay. We got kids walking past, and one just went past on a scooter. See, these are like more like intermediate kids going past, the middle schoolers. But yeah, so the street is busy and it's always fun to look out there, but I have to remember I got to focus on my computer at times to get the work done. But there's nothing to say I can't take a few minutes break and watch the comings and goings on the street and things. But it's always interesting. There's always stuff going on. And the house that I'm looking at renting is actually behind another house. So I'm going to lose the ability to do that, but that's okay. I'm used to being on a quiet street. I'm used to being in a quiet area. I can work in a loud area or a quiet area. It doesn't matter. Do I have to have a view down the street? No. Is it nice? It's fun. It's interesting. But sometimes it's just sort of like more of a hindrance than it is a benefit, especially when you're trying to be on a podcast. You keep seeing me looking up out there. But it's just coming with the comings and the goings and the rhythms and the routines and getting into those rhythms and routines so that you can get stuff done, and making sure that even though you're taking time to stop and look and breathe, that you're still allowing yourself time to get the work done. This is part of working to live. You do whatever work is required that will help you live a better life. You don't, in the States, it's very much live to work. You're living and you're constantly working. Some people will work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Kids are in programs that are just jam-packed after school. They've got, dance lessons and soccer practices and baseball practices and softball practices and football practices. They've got all these practices going on and they're in about 10,000 different activities. When do they get time to play? And just be kids. So when you switch it to working to live, living is your priority. Work helps you get there. So think about that for a while. Take time to pause, smell the flowers, watch the breeze blowing the plants around, that sort of thing. Watching the comings and goings on the street. Just take time to take your eyes off the computer and look. Oh, police car just went past. No sirens, no flashing lights, just driving. We heard sirens the other day, and I got up and there was a white pickup that has a canopy on the back of it, which we call a ute here in New Zealand. UTE, ute. But it looked like it had an air conditioning thing on top. It had no markings on the car. There was just a siren coming out of it. I thought it was a canine unit. The guy who moved out of next door actually used to be my dad's boss years ago. Yeah, so this guy moved in not knowing that dad was next door. And so when they realized who was next door, they went over and said hello. And dad actually used to work for the guy years ago when he was with Ministry of Transport, which was the traffic cops. So yeah, they worked together years ago. So, but he moved out today, heading off to another town. He's going back to one of the towns that he likes. So yeah. So what was I saying? I have totally lost track of my thought, but I'm done. I'm out of here. Oh, hang on. I have reflection questions for you. Got to have the reflection questions because they keep you thinking. When was the last time your routine got unexpectedly shifted? How did you respond? Number 2, what simple moments today reminded you of past seasons of life? Watching the kids coming and going for from the high school for their exams and things reminded me of my days of exams. We sat school cert when I was 15 at the end of it was Form 5 then. I don't know what it is now. They've gone to years. Let's see, 13 is 7th form, so it would have been in year 11. We did school certification. There was a national test done through all the schools and that sort of thing. And I sat and I did that one at the school. The following year, I did university entrance, which was done down at in the hall of the local Presbyterian church. So I used to have to walk all the way into town to go do that one. And then, of course, all the way back home again when needed. So thankfully, I didn't have like 2 down there in one day. It was usually 1 a day, which was nice. Let's see. Number 3, what part of your current environment feels alive and in motion? Oh, everything. Everything. We're always on the move. We're always looking out for things. You got cars whizzing by. It's a very busy road. Kids walking past during, at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. People out walking their dogs. I saw 2 women were walking together yesterday, and they had a belt around their waist, which had like a waist leash. The leash was on the waistband, and they probably had 8 to 10 dogs each on these belts, and they're just walking along, and the dogs are just happily just trotting along and doing their thing, not causing any issues or anything. They were very well behaved dogs, but they had 8 to 10 dogs each. What does a quiet day actually look like for you right now? And is it truly quiet? This is my quiet day. Cars zipping up and down the street. Well, there's a guy going by on his bike. A couple of elementary school kids walking home. So, that's all around us. But anyway, so think about those questions and think about what changes can you make in your life that give you the time to live, to actually stop, breathe, sit down, read a book, do puzzles, do some gardening without the pressure of, oh, I've got to get back into the office. Oh, no, I really can't go do the gardening today because I have to do this. No, set your schedule, get in a routine, set your rhythm of the day so that you know this is my work time, this is what I have to do during my work time, and then this is my playtime over here. And this is my work time, this is my playtime. What do I have to do within this work time to allow me to play today? So that's my challenge to you. I'm going to issue you a challenge. Work out your work time and your playtime. That's work time here, playtime here. Go work that out and see if you can get the playtime being a lot more than the work time. And with that, we're out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and